Okay, so in this tutorial I just want to show you how you can iterate over an array of objects using the forEach method in JavaScript. So being able to iterate over an array of objects is quite important because if you're making some sort of real-world application, maybe you're asking the YouTube API for data, you want to make a YouTube clone, or you're sending a request to get data back from, you're trying to make a music streaming service. A lot of the time, whether it's a weather app, a stock market app, a streaming app, or a music app, a lot of the time the data is going to come back in the form of an array that contains objects. So being able to iterate over each object in an array is a very powerful skill to have. So one thing you can do is you can use the forEach method. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and created an array called heroes. So you have our opening square bracket there and our closing square bracket, and I've comma separated the objects. So we have a Superman object, we have Wonder Woman there, and finally Batman, okay? What you can do is you can use the forEach method. So how it works is you type out the name of the array, in this case heroes, and using dot notation we can access the forEach method that is inbuilt in JavaScript. So basically what's going to happen is we need to pass in at least one argument to the forEach method, and that is going to be a callback function that makes reference to each object. So what I have to do is I have to type in, provide a name, and what that name is going to be, I'm going to call it hero, is actually a reference to each object in our array. So what I can do is I can say console.log and just say console.log each hero, okay? So if I save and refresh, we now get each object inside of the console. Okay, that's awesome. Another thing you can do as well is instead of, logging out to the console each object in its entirety, you can access, one of the key value pairs if you wanted. So you could access, for example, hero.name, and if we save and refresh, we actually get a reference to the name property of each of the objects. So forEach is iterating over each object. So hero is a reference to each single object. So we're iterating over, and I can access hero.name. You could, for example, comma separate and also get access to hero.power if you wanted to do that as well. So if I save and refresh, we get Superman and his power, Wonder Woman and her power, Batman and his power. Okay? So guys, that is the forEach method in JavaScript. It's built in and it is very useful for iterating over an array of objects.